this week's live stream brought to you by my wife and but yes, it's not the expected project of work on the layout. Tell, yay, is it still working? Oh. I saw it die off a bit whilst I was doing the intros. Right. Fun times. Counted. Oh god, that's terrible. Has that fixed it? Yes. Right, there we go. You can all hear me well now, I hope. Actual on the fly fixing of stuff, because yeah, I can do that now. Those away. Why? Right, so the mic saved your ears. So tempting to do it again. So tempting. But no. So yeah, as I was saying, obviously this week brought to you by Twiddling Our Thumbs. Or at least not the layout anyway, like was planned, because I'm really clever and misplaced all my scenic stuff when I cleaned up in here. So I started looking for kits to build. I've got loads of really nice carriage kits to build. Brighton 4-wheel full brake from London Road Models, for example. But I've used all my wheels on a project for a customer, so I've got no wheels to put under any of them. And then, after frantically looking like literally less than an hour ago, I remembered. Yes, I did indeed. I remembered that I had this and the appropriate donor chassis. So we're going to do some 009 loco building. What I want to know is, when could you buy loco kits for £4.25? I mean, the Gem 009's been dead for a while, but £4.25? Yeah. Hydration is important, everyone. This came into the shop a little while ago, and I had it as soon as it came in. I think it came in with some terriers as well. Yeah, when there wasn't an extra one in phone codes, you're right. But the beautiful thing about this is, despite its age, it is a complete kit still wrapped up in its original packaging. So I was very happy getting to pick that up, and as I say, getting the chassis to go with it at the same time. Ace etched kits any good? I've heard mixed results. I believe more good than bad. That's a very good price. But yeah, wrapped so nicely that when you take it out, it's still in the shape of the box. Yeah, I think the Ace K class is quite good, and so 65 quid is also quite good. If anyone wants a Brighton K class, go and get one. Because I'm not. I've just paid for some ski trips, so I won't be buying any Loco kits this week. Friday I was in hospital. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that, Lewis. I hope it wasn't anything serious. Should have sold it to Andy. No, then I wouldn't have it. Oh yeah, I forgot there is still tape holding this together. Or at least there was when I first got it. It's amazing how much of that is packaging, isn't it? Like blooming past the parcel. But eventually, we have a Loco kit in front of us. Had 2 teeth removed. Oh, that's always fun. I've had that done. I wasn't a big fan of it. Would not recommend. And look, the nice, easy instructions. There we go. It's back when George Mellor still owned Gem. That's how old it is. And that's missing a digit off the phone number as well as the area code. It's as old as those wagons for the shop we got, Sophia. I do not envy you having to have teeth removed, so I had to have it done a good few years ago now. It was not fun. What wagons would these be? What wagons would what be? So yes, fun time soldering kits tonight. I've just put those down. Where are they? There they are. But yeah, this is a kit that's been on my want list for a long time. And as some know, I've got a part built. I've got a mostly built one that's missing a few pieces that I got off eBay. So to have the full kit is rather nice. Excellent, Lewis. That is good. Congratulations. Now, if I remember, this sort of is clipped on and just sort of pops off. Yeah, there we go. These old shop wagons. Oh, the shop wagons. The shop wagons. The Eastbourne Models and Collectors Centre wagons. Because they have a 4-digit area code and a 5-digit phone number. Apparently, some old wagons we got in the shop, not a rare occurrence. Well, no. Good evening, Lee. How are you? I hope you are well. You join us not with the expected layout, but with a loco kit. I can words. Apparently. Don't know who keeps spreading this rumour that I know how to say words. They should stop it. Where I live still has a 4-digit area code. Yeah, but that's because you live somewhere backwards. Clearly. It's good fun this year how the motor just kind of fits off. And it's one of the old ones that tells you which city I'm in alphabetically, as it should. Most of them do. So you can see the chassis is at present a little bit too long and wide. Wagons from the shop was open 6 days a week. I know, right? I'm not opening the shop 6 days a week. Oh, look, there's the bot to remind us all, you know, like button and such forth. Like, subscribe, all those wonderful things. Oh, a free one. Free on the keypad has E for Edinburgh on it. 14114 has G for Glasgow. Yeah, I know. 01323 for Eastbourne has the 3 and the 2 for EB. I know how phones work. Tom Scott told me. Hydration is still important. It's really warm here today, in case you hadn't guessed. No wheel. It did not have a Terrier for more than an hour because Daypole hadn't released their model yet. Now, where's my saw? Because we get to saw some metal. It was for EA, but I guess it's the same numbers. It's the same numbers, but for Eastbourne it's EB. Because EB is the 2-digit code for Eastbourne. It's the telegraph code, in fact. K's had released their model, though. Yes, they had. But I don't know if the shop sold those back then. Might have done. Who knows? Good evening, Alexander. How are you? I hope you are well. So we need to remove this coupling hook. There we go. I was hoping to not pull the whole thing apart in doing so. But it's out now. And it can go back in the box. If anyone wants an Arnold Loco body and box, let me know. I'm about to stick a saw in its chassis. Oh, and there's a new command tonight, everyone. Because I've started work on my rolling stock database again. Which, for those that don't know, is basically a really, really fancy version of an Excel spreadsheet for you to store all the details of your rolling stock in, with pictures and details of all sorts. And yeah, exclamation mark Loco DB will take you there. Tablet is playing up, had to switch to my phone. Well, hopefully your phone works. Well, I've had yourself I've had a rather promoting weekend. I am very well. Do tell about your rather promoting weekend. But yeah, I had a discussion that led to me starting work on the code for that again. And whilst it's still not finished and still has one major feature before initial release to get on, which is the search function. Do go and abuse it and break it, and then let me know when you break it. There's a channel dedicated to it on my Discord for bug reporting and stuff, because I want as many people as possible to use it and abuse it and break it and find bugs, because more bugs found means more bugs fixed. Talking of rolling stock, simply someone tapped my credit card recently. The Isle of Wight exclusive stuff, I assume. I had Ash in the shop the other day. Good chat with him. Oh, Loco DB, you're rubbish. Am I doing the abusing right? Yes, perfect, Linny. Absolutely perfect. But yeah, I want lots of people on there breaking it so that we can find all the bugs and fix them. On Saturday, I was passed out on the last competence before becoming a lead importer. I just need to have one final test, run stations if I was in charge. Excellent! That sounds very cool to me. Because it looks to me on the instructions like this slice goes this way, but I don't want to do that in case I'm wrong. Oh, Fishman, Kettle Wagon, Cotton North Coal Wagon, and I saw the 7 Oaks Conflat sale. Yeah. Yeah. I did think of you when I saw he had the Isle of Wight exclusive stuff. which is definitely exclusive to the Isle of Wight and available nowhere else. Oh no, I dropped the isolator thing. Hope I have my Snazzy Silver Tribe on my hat. By Terrier Gala. Excellent! Hopefully you're not too busy to say hi on the Terrier Gala, because obviously I'm going. How could I not? It'd be a nice chance to show off my snazzy new car for people that I meet up with and need lifts. Get rid of some of this slot so I can see what I'm doing better. And cattle wagons we definitely haven't seen yet. That's the one, Sophia. The ones we definitely have no idea about. Will you be taking your terriers to the garden? I mean, I kind of want to, but also no, because I'll just end up breaking them. Naturally, I'm on roster on Saturday, so feel free to say hi. Oh, I'll be working on the Saturday. What's more important, work or terriers? I mean, work pays for terriers. So, gaps aren't big enough for them all. I mean, you've been in my new car. You be the judge. I just caught my hand on the plastic camera and got an electric shock. Something seems wrong there. Yeah, that's clearly still too long. Gary works for terriers. Terriers are work. Yes, that's fair. Get a chair and some duct tape. That's an extra seat. Yes. More seats, more terriers. The big shed's boiler is painted back now. No line yet. It's just needs boiler to be married with its frames. Stuff I'd love to see happen with my own eyes. Oh, that's fantastic. Excellent. I'm glad that's making lots of progress. That's really cool. Hydration is still important. If we keep having good Saturday mornings in the shop, Gary might be able to have the day off. I mean, I don't know about that. I actually quite like going to work. So when it is that Yeah, when is the Terrier Gala? People that know. There we go. The 29th to the 31st of July. Special guest? Question mark. Fenchurch will be there. We can't wait to see if Fenchurch will be wearing the smart brown livery it wore and the number 672 when it emerges, or the improved engine green livery and the number 72. Not that they're making it really obvious or anything. Not at all. Ah, that's one about those going in there, I guess. Maybe. Makes no sense, this. Yes, I better put my travel and accommodation for that. And I guess you should, Linny. Yes, it's definitely going to be worth going to. Terriers. She's going to be painting pink like Tor Valley. Of course she will. Plan on going to Bluebell on Wednesday. Well, hey, I hope you have fun. This makes so little sense, honestly. Offer chassis to footplate, allowing the rear lug to drop into recess in footplate. Firstly, what lug? Secondly, what recess? So there's definitely some more of this needs to go. But I'm rather worried about ruining the valve gear by cutting that way. I know words. I wonder if Oak Hill Hotel has any vacancies. It just might do, you know. It just might. It's obviously going to be Jesus Green. No, just no. Why would you say that, Will? That's not funny. CR livery, of course. I mean, that they could bring the SECR one back from Canada and paint that in SECR livery. I know they're open to offers, Sophia, so maybe you just want to buy it and do that. Well, Terry as well. I'd like to see an LSWR Drummond Green. So if LSWR Green, 2 votes for that now. Will Gary's taxes be available for them? I expect Gary's taxes will most definitely be available. If I go any more than just a slight tiny little bit off the front here, which it looks like it does genuinely need, then I will be pushing everything too far back. There's good campsite next to Bluebell. I've heard that as well. I won't be staying there. Don't Gary, I'll bring my terriers if you bring yours. I mean, if you turn up with terriers, that's your prerogative. I wonder if this is a job for the big file, which is, of course, in the other room. Oh look, and now there's terriers for all the family. What'd you say? It's even a nice Isle of Wight one. I mean, Coach 1520 would appreciate being hauled by an LSWR liveried loco. Yeah, it'd be nice if they'd paint the Adams Radial back in LSWR livery. That was clearly the best livery for it. Maybe Drummond rather than pea green, but you know. It's not. It's in BR Black now. Which is what I mean. I'd like them to repaint it into LSWR. Although I'd prefer Drummond livery over pea green. I think we've got to where I wanted to get to. No, it turns out it does need to lose a slight bit more. Well, the Atlanta group have said about overhauling it. Yeah, but are they actually going to do? You know, what are they actually? Because There's a lot of work needed on the radial. Like, cheaper to start from scratch levels of work. Yeah, that's where it wants to go, along that line. And yeah, well, when it gets to a point where it's, well, it would be cheaper if we built a new loco. Is it really worth them overhauling it and repairing it? Or would it be better if they built a new loco? Oopsie, I pulled you out. Does that mean I can temporarily take you off? Because then you won't get caught by the saw. Let's do that. Be careful here, because this bit's actually hollow. But now that it's come apart, let's see if I can get that spring out. There we go. One spring. So you're supposed to be able to buy a 26 photo right card right up to the day before your 31st birthday, but the app isn't letting me put in my birthday. It won't scroll back that far. Well, that's not very nice of it. I'm pretty sure that's a sign you're old. You know, when you can't scroll back to your birthday. Right, that's that side done. And that's that side done. Let's just hope wanted to see if we can get the 563 back to Steam. 563. Ah, the T3. That's in the right place now, but there's too much meat at the back. Brings up to the day you're 29 years, 364 days old, Linny. Well, that would explain it. As long as you are age 30 at the time you purchase the 1 year 26 fare rail card, you may still travel for discount fare throughout the validity period of the rail card. Source 26 fare rail card. Okay. Maybe you can, you just can't order online with it because the system isn't set up for that, and you'll have to go to a station and do it. Because that's definitely a thing you can do these days. They haven't all been cut back and don't have ticket services anymore. Cue the Adams family. It's also the Adams family, T3 and 415. I mean, fair. Just got here, so no contents, but I approve the Adams family. Good evening, Killian. How are you? Can't get any other way though. It's a digital only rail card. No such thing as a physical 2630 rail card. Ah, even better. It's taken your money and won't give you anything for it. Cynical me really wants to make comments at that, but I'm going to avoid it. Ah, yes, of course. How are you, thanks, Harry? And yourself? I am okay, thanks. Now that I have a project to work on. I was a bit panicky when I didn't. I believe that bend is a sign of we're almost there. And good evening, Christopher. How are you? I hope you are well. You join us doing really, really interesting scenics on the layout here. Unprecedented levels of scenic work. That actually looks straight now. I also need to file these rounder. Oh, of course they're metal. How are we all? I am, yeah, okay now that I'm not stressing looking for a project. It's not Christopher. It is Christopher because I can say Christopher. Big brain time. Hydration is important. That sounds good, sir. Level of detail is astounding. That file looks positively real. It's good, isn't it? How I can make these things look real. For something that is such a yeah, here, dump this on a ready-to-run chassis job. There's a lot of work involved. You can say words. I cannot say words. It's a known fact I cannot say words. Me fail English. That's yeah, quite understandable actually. Yeah, I brought it into a flat side that was the first part. Then I have to round it off. Purple berry tastes like burning. That has still got a bit sticking out of the rear. Look, I've punched the camera again. So has this side. My cat's breath smells like cat food. It is a kit of Douglas. Which will be going into its current livery. So this is technically modern image modelling. Yeah. Didn't come here expecting that, did you? No, I will not paint it in Network Southeast. I will paint it as planned in its current Royal Air Force livery. Hopefully that's round enough to get it on the chassis. We were expecting to temporarily lose our hearing, but that didn't happen. It's true. You've come in here today, you've not been deafened, and you're watching modern image modelling. And yet I claim not to be ill. Interesting one, that, isn't it? Yeah, it definitely needs to still lose some more material. But it specifies you should be losing the material from the rear in the instructions. And of course, with this pressed up against here now, the cylinders line up with where they want to be. It's just a case of how much material can I lose at the rear without losing structural integrity. Because at some point, the rear motor thing is going to come off. But yeah, I mean, if you want to lose your hearing, Elias, I am capable of doing it now. What's worse is this is a week where I actually did the sound check and everything before I started. So it died after me doing a sound check. And that was quite irritating. It's got to take the material off the inside of the white metal running board. So the problem is I've already taken quite a chunk out of that, and we are now getting through to where the running board is mega thick. But I mean, you're right. It probably is the way to go. Once you get it in there, we're now at the point where it can't go back much further without everything else as well. But that doesn't stick out any further behind there. Kit doesn't look like something that should be put. This kit doesn't look like something that should be put back into production. I don't think there's any chance of that happening. And in fact, I don't think you can get this chassis anymore. So is it last thing about what they fit if you fold it off the top of the blocks at the back of the running plate? Ah, you're sawing them off. I am indeed. And we're sort of there. That's removing those has actually made it move forward enough that we've made quite a bit of progress on getting it on there. It's still slightly bent, but I think part of that is we need to lose the front of the plastic base of the chassis here. And another part of it is probably the cylinders, if I haven't got them quite right yet. No, definitely still need to lose some more material on the cylinders. It gives a really, like, the diagrams on the instructions are clearly originally hand drawn. But if you'll notice that the shape of the cylinders that it's telling you to cut them down is actually different either side. So yeah, it's not the greatest of illustrations to work from. So hopefully we will get to a point very shortly where the chassis fits. And once we do that, we can start reconstruction. Or, well, I suppose construction. And now we're very, very nearly down. It's a marginal amount on the rear of each cylinder. Because of course they haven't filed straight, they wouldn't ever do that. So if we can get these off, that might be it, and it will sit down and be happy. And if it's happy, we're happy. Still catching on them. Probably slice a bit of that off with the knife and fix it. So yes, just as a reminder from earlier, my loco, my rolling stocks database for you to store your rolling stock details and have a nice list of everything. It's back under development again and is going really well, and is probably going to actually be finished in the very near future. Exclamation mark LocoDB for a link. Go and sign up. Use it, abuse it, break it, and tell me all the bugs you find so I can fix them. Bugs to be reported on the Discord server, please. Or in fact, I think there's a contact form on there. But what if one of the bugs is the contact form doesn't work? So I've just got the search feature left to implement, then it's time to squash all known bugs. Ready for the actual release? More users mean more things break, meaning more bugs get fixed before the release. And hydration is important. Okay, there may also be some issues with my cut on the front not being straight. That looks nice and straight now. I think that's on. If I don't hold it at funny angles, it might actually look like it's on, you never know. I think we're there, you know. I'm going to call that there. Is that what you're telling me to check where it should fit? Because obviously that's where it goes, and it definitely fits, so I'm going to say that's what you want. So it is time to start building. Assemble boiler halves. Fit split pins first. I'm not going to be using split pins. I'm going to use some handrail knobs because I can. But what I'm going to do before that is turn the soldering iron on. Oh, and I should put these back in, shouldn't I? That's the wrong way. Oops. Good job, these are all just clicked together, isn't it? Seems to me too. I shall give you a database test this week, sir. Excellent. And also, for anyone that is giving it a play, feel free to suggest extra features. Because more features is more good. There is a roadmap on there of the future plans for it. So do look at that before suggesting features. It's in the footer on every page. Oh no, that's not good. That is one of the motor contacts. And that's a really awkward place to have to resolder. Will do. Shall make notes as I go if needed. Excellent. Very helpful. I approve of very helpful. They definitely both fit, despite the rather awkward shape of these. So let's make sure we get plenty of flux in there. And a nice cold soldering iron. I mean, I say cold, I don't actually mean that. And hopefully you all know I don't actually mean that. A cold soldering iron is still very hot, so keep your fingers away from it. But also, we're only at 200 degrees instead of the usual 450. So compared to its usual self, actually quite cold. You see, I am melting all of the solder I've just put in the middle of these. And it's joining the two halves together. It was actually surprisingly quick along the bottom there. I could see it melting. It's going together rather nicely. Thank you, Christopher, from your other channel. And good evening, Red. How are you? I hope you are well. You are fine? Excellent. Glad to hear it. You join us building Douglas, which is a bit different to the layout that I was planning. But there we go. Fit cabsides 2-foot plate. There is some flash there. Ah, saviour of the universe. And now there is no more. Swap device. Oh well, I'll stay with this one now then. Fair. And that's what you get for swapping devices and having multiple YouTube accounts. My Ultimate account doesn't even get logged in anymore on anything. Plans change when you realise you don't actually know where you've put all the stuff you were planning on using. That's the real problem there, Red. But it lets us build a nice little narrow gauge engine that is actually the sort of engine that would have appeared on a line like the Nutley Crowburn Groombridge if it had have actually been built in narrow gauge at the time it was built. Just finished packing to head back to my holiday flat in Caulfield on Tuesday for the first time in 2 years. Well, enjoy. I will be busy, definitely not being jealous whilst at work. You know, I'll just have to think about how you're going to a nice sunny place with sea and sun and heat. And I'll be in Eastbourne at the shop, which will be nice and sunny and have sea and heat. So it'll be exactly the same. Eastbourne and Corfu, there's literally no difference between them, you see. So I don't need to be jealous. Be nice to see all my friends live over there again. Yes, I can imagine it will. Look at that. Bet you didn't know I could freehand that well, did you? Just sits in there. As if I knew what I was doing. I don't, by the way. Make it up as I go along. Okay, that's a lie, but that's not the point. Fit capsides to footplate and use steam pipes. Yes. And then fit boiler. We'll make sure that still fits. Oh, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Some kits are just that well designed. I mean, that was me standing it up straight, not the kit. The kit didn't do that. I did. I would like to think that as we sit here approaching our 150th, along with a certain type of loco that's approaching its 150th, that you would believe I do actually know what I'm doing by now. And trust me, Red, if you were here earlier, well designed is not the name you've used for this kit. This one isn't. You missed the interface between the running board and the chassis it's supposedly designed for. Yeah, good fun that. Refix chassis to part assembly. The lugs projecting the rear of the firebox should just rest on top of motor without undue pressure. Yeah, no, they don't do that. Now that the motor's in, it doesn't fit again. Ah, that's because the shaft for the motor is hitting the bottom of the boiler. This kit was well designed. Yeah. Punctuation error. I'm starting to understand why some bits of the one I had bought had broke off. Like the boiler, for example. Not quite a Bandai Gundam kit then in terms of ease. Well, I wouldn't know. Still better than DC Shenanigans on that 700. I mean, for now. You want DCC Shenanigans? This is the size of DCC chip I normally use. It's not big, it's quite small. This is what I've got to DCC fit. Yeah. DCC shenanigans. They're not over yet. Hydration is important. Yeah, I'm waiting for some smaller DCC chips to arrive. It's been a pain getting a hold of them with the transistor shortage. See, clears it now. And it's gone on with no bends. I mean, this did actually bend out, but interestingly wasn't touching the back of the chassis, so I just bent it back in. But it can't be fitted until I repair the pickup onto the motor on this side. So that'll have to wait. Right then. Fit remaining parts is the instruction. Not kidding, that's the instruction. Don't snap footplate should be the instruction. But it's not, they don't say that. So that's clearly the instructions' fault. Although the instructions do mention that Gordon's alive, so I should have been expecting that. It's going on your narrow gauge layout on another project. This is going on the narrow gauge layout. Although, as I said earlier, interestingly, in a modern livery. It will not get its own project, it will just get run on there. But yeah, it's going to be in a modern livery. This is modern image modelling we're watching here. Modelling modern image and not bursting eardrums. It's just not right. Or at least as modern image as you get outside of April 1st. No, this is going in the livery that it wears today. This is modern image. because this isn't awkward to get into at all. What's an image? Is that what's an image? Is that rather progressive, Mr. Bullied? Yes. No. More modern than that. I believe she was repainted into this livery in 2018. So, you know, we're not even vastly pre-pandemic. Yep, RAF 100. That's what I thought it was. I thought it was an RAF 100. Which evidently read, since you mentioned it, the RAF's birthday is April the 1st. How's that? It's going into the RAF 100 livery to celebrate the 100-year-long April Fool's joke that is the RAF. I think I may have to call it a night, falling asleep again. Okay, good night, Linny. Thank you for coming. Great to have you here as always. Sleep well. Don't work too hard and all that jazz. Which pandemic? Spanish flu? No. The one that everyone thinks is over, but it actually isn't. Let's use that. Good evening, Gary, and also late kids sports ball game running late. Good evening, Andy. How are you? I hope you are well. And I hope you enjoyed the kids sports ball game. Yeah, I've really well and truly knackered that, haven't I? Always they were a joke, even if my great-grandfather was on their funding rolls. Well, you know, your ex-army lot would say that. Doing well, thanks. Same to you. Yes, Andy, I am doing quite well. Much better than I was last week with my dodgy hand. No, Granddad had nothing to do with them. As drill instructor for the army. See, the Air Force can at least do drill, so there's that. So, folks, you know the drill. It's that time, Gary. It is that time. What is everyone up to this evening? You know I love to hear about it. Please do tell. Projects you've got on the go. Even if they're not necessarily tonight, I do like hearing about them. But it's always good to hear what you're doing whilst I am live streaming. No, you soldered it back together with a slight bend in it. Only one squadron. Painting the fleet parts C62's rods red. This already has red in the fluted parts of the rods. Not that it's going to show you. Oh, there we go. Yay, red. I'm doing a jigsaw. Ew. Anything interesting on the jigsaw? Attached photo. The most recent outing on the big railway. I approve of matching photos. It's been doing some Transformers bits, also still thatching that cottage, finally got around to replacing those points on my layout. So points replaced, so the layout works. Thatched cottage, that is obviously great fun to do. And you still felt the need to go and do Transformers instead of railways? Oh, I don't know. CAD in an Austrian wine wagon. Interesting. Started out looking for some wheels, but now it seems I'm reorganising storage tonight while streaming's running. That sounds like the sort of thing I do. Like, you know, once upon a time, there was a storage cupboard in my house that contained my boiler. And I had to have someone come round to look at the boiler. And that required me clearing out part of the storage cupboard. So I cleared out part of the storage cupboard, realised most of what I'd cleared out could be thrown away. So I kept emptying this storage cupboard, seeing what else I could get rid of. And you realise my boiler's up on that wall over there, yeah? I think you see how this ended. Now I have a recording studio. I mean, it always planned that this would move in here eventually. It was not planned that it would move in when it did. Current project is stalled as I can't extract the shaft from the N20 motor I have. Well, that sucks. That's the sort of thing you should ask Linny for advice on, because Linny knows what they're doing. But now Linny is not here, so you can't. Killian, you're going to have to remind me what it's called that you were referencing there. I used to have books and everything as a kid. And I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called. No, for writing projects, I do trains, Transformers, Warhammers at different times. Oh, I know. Funny Bones, that was it. Thank you, Red. Loved Funny Bones as a kid. Don't even know what it's called. Some kind of Halloween poem. Oh, look. That went really well. I soldered that back together and fixed it brilliantly. You should all be exceptionally proud of how well I did that. I mean, easier access to put the cab roof on, am I right? But yeah, I'm pretty sure Red's right, funny bones. Our childhood memories. Really well designed kit with just two narrow parts holding two big heavy parts together. Isn't it just? Fantastic. Mr. Mellor should be congratulated for thinking of that. Because I bet no one else thought of it. I should have put this flux in here beforehand, but I think I've managed to get some of that down the gap. Joys of having a really fun, really thin poker. You can poke it into the gaps. If I ever see one of these kits and someone tells me they can solder white metal but they decided to glue it, I'm not going to question why, because I'm experiencing why you would do that. Yeah, by Janet Allen, I got it downstairs for some reason. I was probably reading it to Alice when she was last here. I see Griff Rhys Jones did a narration for the animated BBC version. Well, hey, look at you knowing things and stuff. I wouldn't have known that. I just want to say how impressed I am at this idea of not putting lugs on anything. It's a really, really great idea. More people should not put lugs on things. And by more people, I mean, can we please put lugs on things that need lugs? It seems to say that this goes on here. But it doesn't look like it does. For those unaware, Alice is my 8-year-old half-sister. Oh, I mean, I assumed something like that. Used to read them to my daughter when she was little. She's 25 this year. I'm not 25 this year. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I'm not really that much older than 25, but yeah. The only 25 I'm ever likely to see is Stone. That goes there. That goes there. And that doesn't go there, clearly. Mainly because these things are in really, really good condition with no flash whatsoever. Where are all my files? With round. Ah, there's the round file. So maybe just purchase 50-yard boards for Chart Sutton. Excellent. That's what I like to hear. Chimney's solid too, I assume. Yeah, completely solid. Obviously. And has no lug to slot into a hole on the top of the boiler so that you know where it goes. Because why would you want that? Instead of a clue as to where it goes, it's just got flash. Really great design, truly in awe. Yeah. Isn't it just? So I wonder why these kits stopped being sold, because I can't work it out personally. Can any of you? No, you wouldn't be round, would you? No. This does have a bit on the back to use to guide it in place, because it's hard to tell where the smoke box door goes. But because flash, it doesn't fit. You're spending lots of money on me and hardly any on the layout. It's true that. Oh, and don't forget your nice dedication to her match that you spent lots of money on the other day. Showing your support for Queenie in her Jubilee year. Just posted really nicely, made one of these in modelling discussion. Well, you realise I now have to go and look at that in the middle of a live stream. Oh no, that is really nicely made. That is absolutely fantastic, Killian. What a change for apologies. Oh, I know what you meant. And if everyone knows what you mean, does it matter if you say it wrong? I hope not, because I mean, I've seen my use of the English language. Should be healed nicely for Liz's salvation. Good, good. Couldn't have it not healed for that. Yay, look, now we can seal up the boiler. I want to get that around the face first. That went well. That went really well. Had it all nicely in place there, and then of course I moved it too soon. I'm going to have to clean it up again now. So I'm a good modeler when they make an awful kit like that, turning a good model like that. Indeed it is. So it's good to see that someone's done it, because I know I won't. I could make a sow's ear out of a silk purse, me. Which I suppose is actually equally as impressive as the way round the saying's meant to be said. None of us have any doubt in you know excuses, Gary. Oh, but I like having excuses. I'm just using the solder as a filler now. Because that's the good thing about white metal solder, is you can do that with it. Rob points out that Funny Bones was removed from our primary school's library for being too morbid, but they had 4 copies of German Word, I assume, and a full set of horrible histories. Yeah. Yeah, totally normal decisions there. Schools are stupid. Schools are indeed stupid. And good evening, Ben. How are you? I think you are well. See, look, you'd never know it was a 2-piece boiler. Well, along the bit of filed, anyway. There we go. It's a nice solid 1-piece boiler. That's right, it had no detail in the first place. There was nothing for me to file off. One year, my primary school, as an end of year treat, let us watch Watership Down. Wow. 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 Who wants to watch the Rabbit film? It's got lots of bunnies in it. Yeah. Doing great. Made an auxiliary tender for my logging locomotive. It looks great. Oh, fantastic. A German Word is like a 17th century collection of German cautionary tales that are quite infamous for being utterly traumatising and incredibly dark for those wondering what that is. Well, it is 17th century Germany, so who's surprised about traumatising and incredibly dark? So the question is, Sophia, was there a point where they realised and turned Watership Down off? Don't worry, kids, it'll be less traumatising in a minute. I'm sure. We ought to watch Play Dogs. Yeah, watch it down. Prime example why you shouldn't show a kid a film just because it's animated and has animals in it. Play Dogs enough fun enough, written by the same guy. Yeah. Yeah. Hey teachers, vet your material before showing it to children. All of Watership Down, very suitable for Catholic school children. Oh yeah, yeah. Although I suppose as Catholic school children you were probably sat there being, well, at least the nuns aren't beating us up. I mean, what? No, sorry, I didn't say anything. Yeah, big trouble just really fun with Catholic school children. They go to school, but I had to stop the nursery side, the after school group, Fortune Animal Farm. Lucky I was doing it in English. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a nice film about animals on a farm. No. Seriously? Vet the things you're showing children before showing it to them. So the curve on the bottom of this dome doesn't match the curve on the boiler by quite some way. And I can't help but feel there's going to be a lot of filing. Funny enough, Big Trouble in Little China was also my first exposure to what it's also a 15 certificate. Well, why let that get in the way of things? Since when has the BBC known better than teachers with good intentions? Whatever goes on, it's an enemy. Yeah. See all the nursery kids crawling round after that. There's a point of a soldering iron there, in case you were wondering. My finger obviously was. Film certificates are just suggestion, right? Like speed limits and stuff. Yeah, yeah, they are. Yeah. Hydration is important. It's looking a lot more low-calorie now. That is indeed a Douglas-shaped lump of white metal. Yes. Yes, it is. And that is a hose that is way too short for where it needs to go. I'm just opening nice big versions of these pictures Killian posted, so I can look at them and say, oh, that's where that bit goes. So I'm at this stage quite sure there must be some bits missing. So, yeah. Yeah, okay. So I've got two bits here that are very clearly staples, and nothing more than staples. They are, looking at the instructions, what the kit expects me to use as the steps. It's very much not the right thing to use as the steps. Will these even take solder? I don't think so. Definitely looks like a no to me. Let's give it one last try. These are definitely being replaced at some point. Just gonna stress that now. Yeah, no, like that didn't take at all, did it? It just left a hole in the end of the staple, in the end of the solder, in the shape of the staple. You didn't think wood could take solder. That's a good point. I did not believe until the other day that you could solder wood. And there is still a good proportion of people that tell you you can't solder Mazak, but You've seen it happen. And that was on purpose. I don't really want to use super glue if I can avoid it. I mean, they're the wrong shape for the steps in the first place, Red. Go have a look in Modelling Showcase at the pictures Killian's posted of someone having made this kit well, and look at the rear steps. And you will go, yeah, those staples are very wrong. Oh, and just for the record, for those that might be thinking otherwise, the wood and Mazak, yeah, that's not even jokes. I superglue Mazak on a semi-regular basis, and I solder Mazak on a semi-regular basis, and I did in fact solder some wood the other day by accident. Because, you know, obviously I wouldn't solder wood on purpose. Also, apparently, if you deny the laws of physics exist, then you can just do what you want. You can solder anything if you know what you're doing. Again, Red, I'm going to point out wood. I accidentally soldered wood with solder and a soldering iron. And I in fact did not use flux because I was not intending to solder wood, it was an accident. Flux, I guess, could have glue-like qualities. It does to a degree. And again, Mazak, being a zinc-based metal, shouldn't take solder. But I decided it will, so it does when I do it. And there are, as a result, locomotives running round out there with their electrics running through wires that are soldered onto Mazak. The bot says hydration is important, and my hydration vessel is empty. No people to copper plate Mazak to solder onto it, but without plating, that is some achievement. Yeah, no plating. Copper plating makes sense to solder to it, but no. We don't do that. I've also used metal screws as insulation before, like steel screws. Hydration is important. I think I know where this goes now. I think it goes under here. I suppose if I feed it through from this side, it would be easier. It's in the right-ish place. Now we've just got to rotate it. No, it fell. And now the end's fallen off. I suppose in theory that should make this job easier. Like that. No, don't fall over now that I've got the soldering iron in my hand. Right, that's tacked. I'll clean you up now. There we go. And now we can take the bit that snapped off and solder it in this side. And then everyone wins. And that'll also be why this doesn't reach all the way down. because the end of it sits on there. Yay, I'm a genius, he says. I'm clearly not. That was practically black. There was no way solder was sticking to it. So, I mean, the kit might be a bit of a pig. But it hasn't taken long to get together. I will give it that. I should have fluxed to the dome, shouldn't I? But yeah, got to give it that. As far as kits go, this is certainly one of them. And I think that about covers my feelings on it. So now it's just all pipe work and the couplings that I don't really want to fit these because I'm undecided on what couplings I'm using for my 009 at the minute. So they're staying off. What we're going to do is fix the bit for the motor here. There they are. That I really cleverly broke earlier. Yeah, okay, soldering iron tip. You can stop attempting to breathe now. That's a bit weird. Also, that gave off a lot of fumes, and I'm feeling those fumes. Even that, I think, is a bit more solder than I wanted to use, ideally. Turns out I fell asleep well over an hour ago and somehow paused stream my sleep. Guess I'll be VOD watching tomorrow. Oh, well, these things happen, Alex. Don't think you've missed much. There we go. Now, you'd never know I'd broken it. I've had about 5 hours sleep in the last 3 days, so I shouldn't be surprised, really. I mean, that sounds like a suboptimal amount of sleep. Build seems to be going well, though. I mean, all things considered, not terrible. Speaking of, I need to get some sleep. Got more stuff to sort out in the morning. See you on the Discord. Oh, good night, Red. Thank you for coming. Sleep well. Preferably better than Alex. Don't work too... Oh, you won't be working too hard, will you? Enjoy the holiday. Now we see how good this is. I mean... I've seen worse things for a couple of hours' work. Even if it was a pig to get here at times. But that looks like quite a satisfactory Douglas to me. The positioning of that motor connection is not satisfactory though. Mainly because it's not touching the motor but instead the body of the loco. Now it is. Oh look, there's a link to the Discord. So it's just pipe work and stuff to do now. Which I was going to replace all the stuff that's with it with brass wire because I can, and now I can't see where I've put my brass wire. Are you the thin one? I don't think so. This is why I usually plan in advance and am prepared. Right. Very nice, especially considering the quality of Gem 009 kits. Yeah, yeah. It's going into RAF livery, I assume. It is indeed going into RAF livery, yes. Makes this modern image modelling. Ow. Get off my finger. Which is a bit weird for this channel, isn't it? Modern image modelling. Still getting used to that. So now this bends down into this, into here. On both sides. Runs from here into there. It runs out the tank, curves down and comes back up into there. To be fair, plenty of tailspin modelling is modern image. Well, yes. Not livery I've seen 009 before, so possibly a world first. I mean, that would be cool if it is. I'd be surprised if it is, but it would be cool. Oh, and the sound pipes need to go down as well. Out of here and down. Aha, that one that you posted doesn't have the sound pipes, Killian. Atrocious of it. I think I actually want a slightly thicker one for the pipes at the front. If I'd have known it intended to use split pins with wire through to represent clack valves, I probably would have bought it some clack valves though. Right. Bend it around there. Cut it down. And cut down on the bottom as well. And a little bit more off. That was a bit too much off, unfortunately. But I won't hold that against it if you don't. Apologies, this being the only Douglas kit available for a long time. I mean, yes, fair point. Is there no 3D print out there? Whilst I was in hospital, I had a look at your website and saw a Lima Class 52 Western in Desert Sand livery. I'm looking into getting it. Do it, yeah, do it, Lewis. Do it, do it, do it. You won't regret it, I know the one. I believe there is a print, but it hasn't been out very long. Fair enough. we go. When must this kit have come out? 1960s? I believe so, yeah. It's never been 100% what livery they carried while working at Calshot. The black and white photos didn't give much help, other than it was a dark colour, probably plain black. I would expect plain black, yeah. You're actually slightly better aligned to this side. Turns out, on the other side, it's a little bit shorter. But yeah, definitely buy the Western off my website, Lewis. It's a really nice model, actually. And I don't just say that because I want you to buy it, although I do want you to buy it. If it isn't prototypical, I like RF blue on it. So do I. I think it looks really smart. You're not supposed to fall off after I've soldered you on. That's how soldering you on works. Surely it is prototypical now. Yeah. Of course it is, Killian. It is prototypical now. RAF blue is a prototypical livery. Come on, soldering iron, cool down. Whilst waiting for the soldering iron to cool down, hydration is important, everyone. Especially if you're not sleeping well. I mean, you don't have to take my word on that, but I like to feel I'm the expert in the importance of hydration these days. I've been planning on getting a Western for a while now, so I'll definitely get the model off your website. Excellent. Like I say, it's a lovely model. You won't regret it. Alright, where did they go? There they are. Westcliff works to make the 3D printed number 6 kit are the ones I've been having a hell of a time trying to contact. Ah, I see. Hopefully you make some progress on the getting in contact. I understand though, he's very busy with real life stuff. Yeah. Yeah, gotta give people leeway to be busy with real life stuff. Now, whereabouts? There we go. I can spell. Do these sandpipes run, is what I wanted to say. Yeah, I got the above the footplate bit. I want to see them below your footplate. Straight down in front of the rear wheels, that looks like to me. Did finally get an email back with a list of TR stuff sent in one response. Haven't heard anything since. Fingers crossed. Not in a hurry though. Yeah. I mean, you're getting a response, and so that is good. More brass. Let's turn that up. Exactly. That's why the email got lost. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Now that you've got a response, you know there's something. Yeah, that looks fine to me. I'm happy with how that's gone. The NHS should do an advert on TV on why hydration is important. They used to do those. That genuinely was a thing once upon a time, Lewis. But if they want to do it, I will totally be in that advert for free. Sky mates, the kit. That kit is on Discord, not on Oak Hill though. Well, that's no fun of him. Oak Hill Discord is best Discord. I mean, it's also for people who turn up here on a Saturday and not really for anyone else, but you know, that's not the point. Much, but this brass that I'm using for sandpipes here is actually brass tube. So technically, if you get some scale sand, the sandpipes will work because they are actually pipes. I mean, I'm definitely going to fill them in with solder. But that's not the point. Does it want to be on the end? It wants to be around here-ish. Chimney is solid though. Yeah, chimney's solid though, but I didn't make that. Oh, it's told his Discord name, but seemingly you can't DM someone you don't share a server with. No sense against chimney. I mean, it does make sense, yes. Because I could see how easily that could be abused. And now we shall let that cool down. No, not thicker than the chimney. That would be silly. Still important. Yeah, it's a good job you're not in a rush though, isn't it, Alex? Otherwise I'm back waiting and hoping for the Meridian kits to come back. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, isn't it a great time to be a railway modeller? All these dead kit ranges. No, I imagine a 3D printed one, whilst not your ideal medium, is probably closer to your comfort level for building as well, Alex. I do appreciate how lucky I am. Yeah. You and your Japanese modelling. Feels like you're cheating, really. No planets make their motto, your guess is stars. Oh, yes. There we go. Sandpipes. That went well. Brass, let's turn it back up whilst I get it sorted. Because you see, when soldering brass to white metal, you can't just use white metal solder. What you need to do is use some regular solder on it. So that the white metal solder is sticking to the regular solder rather than to the brass, because white metal solder will not stick to brass very well. Between the cheat codes. Railway modelling with the Konami code feels wrong. Did all the first rolling stock kit for MSR yesterday. One solitary Dunder snail bitch hopper kit. Need to find out how easy hard it is to make. I really don't want to pay the Pico prices. That's fair. I can see why you wouldn't want to pay the Pico prices. They're not going to be cheap, are they? So I'm rather happy with how this is looking. We've got 5 minutes left and I've got 2 bits of wire to add. And you were sat so nicely before as well. Cannot believe the whole thing shifted as I was soldering that to it. £20 a pop from most retailers, and about 9 of them speak or done. This is the difference between 180 and 70. Yeah. That's a big difference. Now, I don't know if this will actually go through these. No. That doesn't surprise me. Ah, where did you go? I only have 2 of you. There you are. Don't lose things on this live stream. Well, can go through you. And can go through you. Excellent. So what I think we're going to do is cut a couple of decent length bits of this off. Thread them onto the handrail knobs. Which can then be soldered together. The other end's the less bent end, I think. Going well, obviously. This handrail knob knows it's the end of the stream in 3 minutes. There we go. And there's the bot to remind us it's the end of the stream in a few minutes. Good bot. Now we will snip the ends down. And get them bent to shape. confirm that they don't fit in the hole. So which also I tried people once. I was glad I only bought one. Yeah, yeah, that's a real confidence building statement, that isn't it? Now we're going to do something very bad and very dangerous here. Because this is still at full temperature. Yes, I know, the sandpipes are catching on you now. It's okay, when you're permanently attached, it won't be a problem. So must have been, might have been the moulding on my one. Give it a go, see how it get on. You'll be fine. Also take time. To be fair, I'm going into it well awake. It may well end up flung against the wall, but I'm going to try. Damn it. That's the attitude. It's alright, Alex. Just remember, I went into this live streaming knowing I'd give up after one or two. So, you know, don't feel bad. And time for the last dangerous bit. Turn the iron down. I'm well aware we're over time now, but I'm not stopping this close to actually finishing the entire build in one stream. Hydration is important though, whilst it cools down. And now a little bit more flux. And then we can attach these pipes to the tank fronts. And to the clack valves to the boiler sides. And there we are. One Douglas. For an unprepared stream where I didn't know what I was going to do until less than, well, it was about 20 minutes before pre-stream chat, wasn't it? I'm quite happy with that. And I've had a really good time building it, even if it wasn't the easiest thing to build ever. But what would this hobby be without challenges, eh? So yeah, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I've had a great time. I hope you have too. Thank you for your kind words, everyone. And I'll see you next week for some Railroads Online. I've been Gary, this has been Let's Build, and you've been awesome as always. Good night.